Hello, and welcome to the season finale of The Mandalorian. Now, I've been doing these videos by myself the whole season, which I've enjoyed doing, but I thought, because it's the finale and there's a fair bit to talk about, I'll bring in my viewing partner, and partner in life, my wife, Eimear. Now, we've been watching this together for, since the first episode of The Mandalorian, and it is great.
It is.
So why don't you just tell them, before we talk about this final episode, why don't you tell everyone what you think of The Mandalorian in general?
Generally, I really like it. I mean, as I once heard someone say, it's a Western in space. What's not to like?
Yeah, it is really good. Yeah. Let's be honest.
It's a different atmosphere than we've been exposed to in the Star Wars world.
Put it this way, The Mandalorian has made Star Wars have a positive name in the world again.
Yeah.
Whereas there was a lot of contention around Star Wars a couple of years ago. I personally love every Star Wars film. Obviously, I can analyze them and criticize them, but am I going to say
criticisms aren't invalid?
Yeah, exactly.
But it didn't hamper us being fans.
Yeah, it's exactly like I can still sit in the cinema and think, whoa, this is cool. So
yeah,
that's what I really want. But
yeah,
The Mandalorian is fantastic, and we'll start talking about this episode. We're going to start on the biggest part, Luke.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously Luke comes in. They did the same trick twice in one season. They had Boba Fett's Slave One coming in, and if you knew that ship, you'd be like, "Oh my god, it's Boba Fett!" Yeah. And then they had the X-wing coming in.
Yeah.
And if you're expecting a Jedi, and the X-wing comes in, then you think it's Luke. So they did the same thing twice in the same season. What did you think about that intro for Luke?
I really enjoyed it because obviously there was a slow reveal of his face, and even though you no, it's probably Luke, you're going, but is it Luke? Is it Luke?
Yeah, is it? Yeah.
And it isn't until the very end whenever he actually takes his hood off and you're like, yes, it's Luke! And it's just really cool. And I think we absolutely have to talk about the effects there. They were unbelievable, I thought.
The CG on Luke's face,
yes,
like the deep fake sort of thing.
I have to say, no, we did talk about it. To me, it looked fully real and fully convincing when he didn't speak.
Yeah.
And when he spoke, unfortunately...
Uncanny Valley.
Yeah, there was some Uncanny Valley going on. But it looked almost like it was a foreign language dubbed. To me, that's what it looked like. Having said that, as you pointed out, I think even they themselves are aware of that, because there was some, very choice shots, angles and
shooting
shots.
Shooting him from behind while he's speaking.
Yeah.
Lots of stuff like
that. Mitigating as much as possible the, hearing him, seeing him speak.
Yeah.
But outside of that, and as you rightfully said, this look can carry a scene. It couldn't carry an episode.
Yeah.
But it was a fantastically done scene, and it was so exciting to see, I thought.
Yeah, so I think that going forward, the story of what happens with Grogu and Luke might be told in other ways that aren't a TV show, like maybe in a comic or a book or a cartoon.
Yeah.
I don't think maybe Luke will reject Grogu. And maybe Mandalorian will have to take him back. I don't know what's going to happen. But if Grogu's going to stay in the show, I don't think we're going to start seeing more of Luke. Because
I would agree.
It would be... It's probably too expensive to do that.
Yeah.
And the second thing is that it just doesn't look good enough to have that be a main character in the show, in my opinion.
Well, I honestly don't think we are going to see much of Grogu anymore. I feel like that's chapter closed on Grogu.
He's set up. He's set up. That's what he's going... Grogu's story... I think he'll survive the Kylo Ren massacre. I think he'll somehow survive that.
He'll have left the situation by then.
Yeah, and Grogu is going to be a main character probably in a story set 500 years in the future. Yeah. Maybe that's going to be something to do with like the Taika Waititi film he's working on.
Oh yeah.
Maybe they're going to do something with Grogu when he's like a Jedi Master or something.
That would be really cool. Because the thing is as well, we know how slowly that species ages.
Yeah.
Grogu is 50.
Yeah.
But in human years he's like 5.
No, exactly. Yeah, so it's gonna go on and on. So then the whole idea of like Kylo Ren is there's a load of memes going on. Like Luke takes him back to the Jedi Temple. It's like, here, there's Kylo Ren, and
just introduce him.
Although I don't think Kylo Ren's actually born yet in this storyline yet.
No, he wouldn't have been.
No, but so it's interesting. Also, R2-D2 showed up.
Yeah, that was cool. It was really cool and really exciting.
Like there was just so much stuff. Like,
I have to say, I think it's worth pointing out as well that the scene whenever Luke's making his way down the ship, and we're sort of seeing him in the surveillance cameras and things. You rightfully pointed out it's like the inverse of the Rogue One scene with Darth Vader.
Yeah, and ever since when I watched the episode, I was like, oh my god, that's perfectly they're going for that.
It's a great,
and then which was so cool, and it was like sort of the light side version of that.
Yeah, it's a great mirror of it.
Whereas Darth Vader was just hacking, he was just hacking. Whereas Luke was very much still sort of, I don't know, it's a different way of fighting in the light side. It's less hatred in him, and it was his version of that. But then when I was like, all right, I've done that now. Let me go on the subreddit or whatever, and like just everyone was referencing that. Like it just seems like something everyone picked up.
Oh well, it's so cool.
Oh yeah, it's so cool.
It was really cool.
It's like poetry.
Yeah,
it rhymes. To quote George Lucas.
Yeah. And we don't often get to see that. We don't often get to see the Jedi being really, really terrifying.
No, we don't. Well, I wouldn't say he was terrifying. He was terrifying to the Dark Troopers, obviously.
But also, this is before we had seen his face. We were still watching him with bated breath. Going, Is it?
All the characters, all our main characters in the bridge of the ship, they were actually pretty scared.
They were bricking it, yeah.
Except Mandalorian knew because he was watching Grogu.
Yeah, he knew this. The child has called him this guy, so it's going to be all right.
Yeah, no, I have to say, it was really exciting and exhilarating, and I didn't think when we started watching The Mandalorian Season 2, or even Season 1, that we were eventually going to get to a point where we had Jedis in the show. I don't think Jedi is going to be a mainstay in the show, but like the Darksaber is, and like, we're going to get lightsaber fights, more of them, and I didn't expect that.
Yeah.
But it's really cool.
Yeah. Also, I just want to say the aesthetics of the show I really like. I love the look of the Darksaber, and I love the look of what do you call the guys?
The Dark Troopers.
Yeah, the Dark Troopers. I was saying to you while we were watching it, they don't look like they're made of metal. They almost look like they're made of oil or something. They've got an almost mirrored texture that looks really it makes them look a lot more sinister.
Yep.
And I just love that design. It's really cool. And the red eyes. It's really terrifying. Stuff of nightmares.
It's really cool. Well, what do you think about our boy Din? We can call him Din now because he is actually seems to be shedding those cult-like ways now. How do you think about that?
I am excited for it.
I'm very excited for him shedding the cult-like ways.
I quite liked how, we talked about, we had sort of said, excuse the baby noise.
Right there, son.
Again, as always, there's a baby here. We had mentioned to each other, oh, he's going to take his helmet off this season. I didn't expect it to be this way. This is the way.
Yeah, this is the way.
I mean, I expected his hand to be forced and him to be in a compromising situation and be made to take it off.
Like someone forced it off him.
Yeah. Or he had a really hard decision to make.
Well, he did.
No, but it was...
Oh, no, yeah, that's the thing. Yeah. That's what's cool. Yes, I'll let you finish. Sorry, but I know what you mean.
He did it out of love.
Yeah.
He didn't
there was no hard decision to make.
No, it was not a hard decision. It was just, the child needs to see my face.
Yeah, but also in the last episode, it was, I need to do this for the child.
Yeah.
There was no... In the last episode, whenever they were doing the heists to get the information...
Yeah.
There was no moment where the Mandalorian was like, right, what's another plan? What can we do? He was like, oh, you need me to scan my face? Give me the thing. I'm going to scan my face.
Yeah, and he didn't want to do it. You could tell he didn't want to do it. Whereas this time he wanted to do it. Because he wanted to do it. Like I said, it was an act of love for Grogu.
No, but I know exactly what you mean. It is an act of love this time. But I think it was last time too.
Because, it was. Yeah. But it was more like...
Oh, I have to do this.
Yeah.
You do anything for your child.
Yeah, but it was also like, the last time it was more like because, you're being held up and someone's got a gun to you. And this time it was more like because he asked you to.
No, yes, I know.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, like the Grogu was back because you reunited with him.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I loved that. I thought that was it was really unexpected because I didn't think it was going to be as easy for him to just remove his helmet.
Yeah, but I love that it is.
Yeah.
And I was like, this whole season in these videos, I've been building up the how well they've done the father-child relationship between Grogu and the Mandalorian.
Oh, completely.
So it's so believable that even though we've been told this is the way, you don't take your helmet off, and he's been so against it in the past, we've already seen that he can change his mindset. He changed his mindsets about droids.
Yeah.
And like the foreshadowing and the ground has been laid for the idea of him just taking his helmet off out of love for Grogu, because it's so believable.
Yeah.
It's so believable. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So okay, what do you think about the idea that now he has the Darksaber? We'll just say like the fight with Gideon was really cool.
Yeah, I like that. It happened earlier in the episode than I thought. I was saying to you, I expected the sort of climax of the episode to be leading up to that moment, and sort of halfway through the episode we're like, and bam, here it is, and I kind of went, it's happening. Okay, we're doing this.
Yeah.
And it was cool that the climax, and of course that sort of threw me off completely for like that's the last thing I expected was for Luke to show up.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
because I thought it was going to build up to that thing with Moff Gideon. So it was so cool that they were just like, oh yeah, you've been waiting for this, so bam, here it is.
Yeah. And what do you think about the fact that whenever the Darksaber was on the Beskar spear, it was like heating up?
Oh, that was really cool. I really
cool,
liked
cool
that
effect,
detail.
wasn't it?
Yeah. Well, actually, it was very hot.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, but what did you think about the fact that now that he has the blade, he has he's the rightful heir to the Mandalore throne or whatever. He has a claim to it.
Yeah, I'm wondering how this is going to pan out. I mean, I think our next sort of struggle that we're going to see is possibly him. Right now, he doesn't want it. Mm-hmm. Possibly he's going to have some sort of moral dilemma where he's going to see a reason to believe that maybe he actually would make a better leader.
Yeah.
And it will be, the struggle will possibly be about that. Don't I fight to keep this? Mm-hmm. Well, they have to fight either way.
Yeah.
The thing is, I can't imagine, he wants to yield to her, but if they are going to fight for it, he is like, I can't imagine the character going easy on her. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It would just be a case of, well, I have to fight and this will determine the outcome. It's going to be another classic case of the reluctant hero.
Yeah.
Like, he doesn't want to be leader now, but I'm wondering, will he be drawn to leadership soon? You know, if he sees parts of, you know, a struggling culture that perhaps she doesn't.
Yeah.
You know, that's going to give him the sense of responsibility.
Like, I do trust Bo-Katan to see all those things too, but that's why it's going to be interesting, because I think Bo-Katan might become like a sort of a pseudo bad guy.
That's what I mean, like, because I can imagine her being quite headstrong.
Yes, but it's just going to be, she's going to sort of, see, I'm not as au fait with the Bo-Katan from the show, so I know that she's a good guy.
Yeah.
Generally. I don't know, maybe she's a tweener, but I think she's pretty much a good guy. So it'd be interesting if they go down the route of like she wanted the throne of Mandalore for so long that now that it's been sort of taken away from her because she's not the claim, she doesn't have the claim to it now. Yeah. Will she just like properly take up arms against the Mandalorian, or will she accept that? It's really interesting to see.
I can't imagine she will accept it. It's too much. She's too much invested in this. That was all she wanted to do, was pursue this Darksaber to the end of the galaxy. And that's
why it's interesting.
It is, because I think it's a dilemma that no one saw, like none of us saw coming, really.
I didn't see it coming.
No, I didn't see it coming either.
Because I wasn't even aware that the Darksaber had to be won in battle.
Well, me neither, because I will say we haven't really. We're not very read up on the lore.
Yeah, but they also they pulled the Game of Thrones. It's always about the person with the best story.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like people shout on that for Game of Thrones, but that's literally what they've said here. Yeah. Is that you only become the king if you've got the good story behind you.
Yeah, exactly.
But obviously the way they've done it is, I think, better.
Yeah.
They at least, like, the story is that he actually won the fight.
Well, yeah. It's the whole idea of history written by the victors, isn't it?
Yeah, pretty much. Kind of. Well, kind of. Like, I mean, if it wasn't this way with the Darksaber, I mean, I'm sure Bo-Katan probably could get a better claim. Also, speaking of sitting on thrones, what do you think about the tease at the end for Boba Fett?
Yeah.
Boba Fett was sitting on the hut. Crime family's throne.
I love that he just walked up and killed the guy. I'm like, get out of the way, you.
Yeah.
Just tossed his body to one side. Like, this is my seat now. Thanks for keeping it warm.
Yeah, like, it's really interesting because
Bob has always been as you say, a tweener. Like,
Bob
he's
is
not good or bad. He does what he wants.
Yeah, that's why I'm really looking forward to this series. Actually, now it makes sense that they kept it back as well. They were going to announce it at the end of the Mandalorian as well. They kept the announcement back.
Yeah, I can't ignore that Fennec is with him because she's a straight up bad guy. I think.
Fennec.
Yeah.
Do you think?
I think so. I mean, we saw some redemptive qualities, but in this season. But the last time we saw her, I didn't think she was I don't want to say a good character or a bad character. I mean, she's a good character, but a morally questionable character, I should say. And I think that's why it's really interesting, because I wonder how they're going to do it, because Boba is truly neutral a lot of the time. But I think she's more bad than good. So I'm wondering, is it going to be a good cop, bad cop thing, or is it going to be like she's the bad influence on him? Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I know what you mean. I'm really intrigued. I don't even know why he wanted to go and do that. Like, because I know he fell in the Sarlacc pit on Tatooine. Mm-hmm. Maybe there's lore. Let us know in the comments, guys. Is there lore describing why he doesn't like the Hutts? Because as far as I was concerned, he was employed by the Hutts. Is it because maybe the Hutts didn't rescue him? Is that why
I kind of hope there is no lore about it. I want to go in.
He just wanted that throne.
Yeah, I kind of want there to be a completely blank canvas and none of us know where it's going.
Yeah, I think that's true. Right, guys. Well, that's our end of Mandalorian discussion. I might make a video essay or two about this show throughout the year leading up to season 3, to be honest with you. But for the moment, that's going to be our Mandalorian coverage. I hope you've enjoyed following along with the show with us. Mm-hmm. It's not going to be the last show we ever do. If you've been watching His Dark Materials, we're doing the final His Dark Materials on Monday. So check that out as well. Apart from that, I don't think we have much else to say. Do you?
No.
Yeah, so subscribe to the video. Yeah. If you would like the video, if you've seen to this point in the video, if you've watched to this point, you either really like it or you really don't like it and you just hate watching the video. Either way, if you put a like or a dislike, apparently they both do good for the video. So engagement, guys. Right, guys.
We'll take it.
We'll take it. Right, thanks very much, and we will see you later.